the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Philippine Air Force airlifts relief goods to Masbate communities. Army troops clash with NPA in Oriental Mindoro, recover weapons. Gasoline prices drop, diesel up today. ICI recommends filing of charges versus Aldico and DPWH written for the officials.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Tuesday, September 30, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rob Susan Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Philippine Air Force deployed its Black Hawk and Super Huey 2 helicopters to deliver relief aid in Masbate yesterday. Troops airlifted 1,006 boxes of family food packs in coordination with the Department of Health, Department of Information and Communications Technology, and the Office of Civil Defense Region 5. The relief goods were distributed to typhoon-affected communities across the province. The Philippine Air Force reaffirmed its commitment to humanitarian assistance and disaster response by ensuring timely aid delivery.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Soldiers from the 203rd Infantry Brigade clashed with New People's Army members in Sitio Banayong, Barangay Manaul, Mansalay, Oriental Mindoro, following reports of armed men extorting from residents. The encounter led to the recovery of a shotgun, generator, commercial drone, analog phone, tablet, ammunition, medicines, and personal belongings left behind by the rebels. No civilians were harmed, while police set up checkpoints to secure the community. The 203rd Infantry Brigade Commander, Brigadier General Melencio Ragudo, vowed continued operations against the NPA remnants and urged them to surrender under the government's reintegration program.
Armed Forces Radio.
From PAFC let's hear from Apple about Philippine Air Force deploys helicopters for aerial survey and humanitarian operations in Mindoro and Romblon.
The Philippine Air Force, through the Tactical Operations Wing Southern Luzon and Tactical Operations Group 4, has deployed 2 helicopters, a Black Hawk and a Sokol, for aerial survey and humanitarian missions in Mindoro and Romblon. The aircraft conducted reconnaissance flights in coordination with the Office of Civil Defense, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, and local disaster offices. As part of its humanitarian assistance mandate, the Black Hawk helicopter also transported hygiene kits to 203rd Infantry Brigade and ferried relief goods from the brigade headquarters to Mansalay Airstrip. These supplies are now being readied for immediate distribution to communities affected by recent calamities. This is Apple Burabo reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Apple, from PAFC
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 11th Infantry Division and Department of Public Works and Highways Region 9 launched the construction of an igloo and barracks dormitory at the division's headquarters in Holosulu. 11 ID Commander Major General Leonardo Peña and Engineer Nonoy Pawaki led the groundbreaking ceremony and symbolizing the start of the project. DPWH vowed to deliver quality infrastructure to support the welfare of soldiers securing the peace in Sulu. The new facilities aim to boost the morale and readiness of Alakdan Division troops once completed.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Davao Occidental hosted the 3-day Friends Rescued Summit and General Assembly 2025, gathering 154 participants from Malita and Jose Abad Santos. The event themed Peace, Unity, and Prosperity through an Insurgency-Free Community reaffirmed the province's commitment with the 73rd Infantry Battalion and government partners to support the FR reintegration. Former rebels benefited from services such as weddings, national ID registration, free legal aid, medical checkups, skills training, and amnesty processing. The summit also launched the FR provincial organization KPBHDO, which began planning programs to address the security, livelihood, and reintegration needs.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Mami about AFP and PNP unite to secure Zamboanga Hermosa Festival 2025.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police launch joint security operations for the Zamboanga Hermosa Festival 2025, starting with a send-off ceremony at the Zamboanga City Police Office. Colonel Danilo Ambe, commander of the Joint Task Force Zamboanga, and Police Colonel Fidel Fortaleza, City Director of the CZPO, emphasized strong interagency cooperation and safeguarding the festivities. Marine Battalion Landing Team 1 deployed K9 units and provided continuous security during the opening salvo at RT Lim Boulevard. Security forces vowed to ensure peace, protect the public, and prevent untoward incidents throughout the month-long celebration. This is Ami reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Amy.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The National Amnesty Commission, through the Local Amnesty Board of Coronadal, joined the 2025 South Cotabato Former Rebels and Former Violent Extremists Summit in Coronadal City. The summit featured a service caravan that provided vital government services to FRs, FVEs, and stakeholders in the province. NAC officers issued 36 safe conduct passes and facilitated 7 amnesty applications with legal support from the Public Attorney's Office. The event highlighted NAC's strong commitment to peace, reconciliation, and the reintegration of former rebels into society.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, fuel prices will move in different directions starting today. Gasoline prices are set to decline as diesel and kerosene are expected to continue their weekly climb. Oil companies announced that gasoline will drop by 20 centavos per liter, breaking the 5 straight weeks of increases. However, diesel and kerosene will rise by 90 centavos per liter, their 6th consecutive weekly hike. Department of Energy Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rodelia Romero said the global oil prices remain volatile due to geopolitical risks after the U.S. urged the European countries to stop buying Russian energy.
Armed Forces Radio.
Some information from Leonor about 62nd IB joins NTC seminar to boost community defense awareness.
The 62nd Infantry Battalion joined the National Telecommunications Commission's online seminar in Gihulman City, Negros Oriental. Civil Military Operations Officer Captain Angelo Michael Cataan highlighted the role of People's Organization in strengthening the integrated territorial defense system against insurgency threats. The seminar trained participants on proper radio use and compliance with communications bylaws. The initiative highlighted the Army's commitment to peace, security, and community collaboration in territorial defense. This is Leonor Tarap reporting for AFP Community News, one FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman reaffirmed the Marcos administration's commitment to expand funding for the education sector. She said her office will work closely with Congress to ensure swift approval of higher allocations for state universities and colleges. Pangandaman explained that education has always been the #1 priority under the National Expenditure Program. She added they will make sure the realignment is implemented properly so that students, teachers and SUCs receive the support they deserve.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, the Office of the Vice President's proposed budget for 2026 passed the Senate Finance Panel in under an hour. Vice President Sara Duterte appeared before the committee for a hearing on the proposed 2026 budget for her office. The OVP is seeking 902.895 million pesos for 2026, most of it earmarked for welfare programs. Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri moved to approve the budget, citing courtesy to the said office. The swift approval contrasts with the continuous hearings for the Vice President's funding in 2024.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Jimboy about 73rd IB and government agencies facilitate amnesty applications for former rebels in Sarangani.
The 73rd Infantry Battalion and partner agencies facilitated an amnesty orientation and application program in Malapatan, Sarangani Province, assisting 62 former CPP and PANDF rebel in their application process. The local Amnesty Board of Coronadal and Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, Sarangani, lead the activity and brief the participant on requirements and reintegration opportunities. The Public Attorney Office also provided legal support to ensure proper documentation and compliance. The initiative highlighted the government commitment to peace, reconciliation, and reintegration for former rebels into mainstream society. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, government officials allegedly involved in the anomalies and insertions in the controversial 2025 national budget should already learn their lessons. Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro said this when asked what were the lessons learned in the 2025 budget and what steps are needed so that the ill practices will no longer happen again. She mentioned it's better to ask those who inserted in the budget and what are the lessons that they learned. The palace official added that with the public's outrage and the president's anger, they should learn to abide by their sworn mandate to be real public servants.
DWDD National News.
The Office of the President announced the appointment of former Philippine National Police Chief Police General Rodolfo Azurin Jr. as Special Advisor and Investigator of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. Azurin replaced Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong, who resigned from his post last week. OP said the administration is confident that General Azurin's experience and leadership will further strengthen the Commission's mandate to uphold accountability and transparency in the use of public funds. Azurin will assume his duties after concluding his personal and administrative arrangements, according to the OP.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Mike about 11ID holds third quarterly socials in Sulu.
The 11th Infantry Division held its third quarterly social at its Hulu-Sulu headquarters with the theme Strengthen Peace, Culture, and Unity in Sulu. The event featured cultural performances highlighting Tausug heritage and the strong ties between soldiers and local communities. 11ID Commander Major General Leonardo Pina emphasized unity, peace, and respect for culture in his message to the troops and guests. The celebration reinforced trust and partnership between the military and civilians in sustaining peace and development in Sulu. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD National News.
The Independent Commission for Infrastructure filed its initial referral before the Ombudsman in relation to the alleged irregularities in the anomalous flood control projects. According to Executive Director Brian Keith Hosaka, the ICI submitted its interim report to the Office of the Ombudsman. They are recommending the possible filing of graft, malversation, and falsification charges against Ako Bicol Representative Zaldico and other Department of Public Works and Highways officials over their alleged links to the 289.5 million peso road dike project along the mag-asawang Tubig River in Nahuan, Oriental, Mindoro. Hosaka said that DPWH Region 4B implemented the flood management project through contractor Sunwest Incorporated, which has historical links to Co.
DWDD National News.
Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico resigned as a member of the House of Representatives. This is amid allegations of massive corruption in connection with flood control projects and insertions in the national budget. On his Facebook account, Co posted his letter to Speaker Faustino Boji III dated September 29. He said that on the account of the real, direct, grave, and imminent threat to the lives of his and his family's life, and what he said an evident denial of his right to due process of law, is constrained to tender with immediate effect his irrevocable resignation as a member of the House of Representatives.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now more updates from Marian. Philippine Air Force airlifts relief supplies to Babuyan Islands. Go ahead, Marian.
The Philippine Air Force deployed Black Hawk helicopters to deliver relief goods to Babuyan, Claro, and Dalupiri Islands in Cagayan yesterday. Troops airlifted 500 food packs, 200 shelter tents, 50 shelter kits, and other supplies provided by the Office of Civil Defense and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. The 205th Tactical Helicopter Wing and Tactical Operations Group 2 led the mission from FOB Lalo, Cagayan. The operation, done with the Philippine Coast Guard, Marine Battalion Landing Team 10, and civilian volunteers, highlighted strong interagency cooperation in disaster response. This is Marian reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Marian.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the Commission on Elections could proceed with the parliamentary elections in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao next month, even while the temporary restraining order issued by the Supreme Court remains in effect. The Legal Network for Truthful Elections, or LENTE, issued this call in response to their COMELEC's request to all election stakeholders to submit their positions on the looming deferment of the BARM polls as an offshoot. Lente said that TRO applies only to the conduct of district elections under the legal framework provided by the Bangsamoro Election Code, the Omnibus Election Code, and other relevant election laws and issuances. The group emphasized that the assemblies for sectoral representatives and the elections for regional parliamentary political party representatives on October 13 can proceed because there is no law preventing its conduct.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the Philippines logged a total of 260 rabies cases from January to September 20. The Department of Health reported that 95% of these cases involved animals that were either unvaccinated or had unknown vaccination status. The DOH then reminded pet owners to have their dogs and cats vaccinated annually, noting that this protects both pets and humans against the rabies virus. The Health Department also urged the public to register their dogs and cats at their respective barangays to avoid letting pets roam unsupervised and to immediately seek medical attention at an animal bite treatment center if bitten or scratched by an animal.
DWDD National News.
For our weather update, Pag-asa is closely monitoring the movements of several cloud formations outside the Philippine area of responsibility, which may become a low-pressure area. But weather specialist Robert Badrina said the entire archipelago will remain storm-free over the next few days based on its data and analysis. He said only one weather system, the easterlies or winds that pass through the Pacific Ocean and carry humid, warm weather, has been prevailing all over the country. In particular, Metro Manila, Bicol region, Bulacan, Rizal, and Quezon will be experiencing cloudy skies with scattered moderate to at times heavy rains and thunderstorms raising the possibility of flash floods or landslides in these areas.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rob Susan Abay for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP Radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon.